Hello friends, welcome to another video. This video is again based on a question posted on Power BI community forum. Very simple question actually, and the purpose of this video to showcase how a small measure does not work at the total line but does work at the line level, but does not work at the total line level. Let's look at the question first to understand what actually I'm talking about, and then also look at the solution. So here the question is total in matrix incorrect when using measure with the condition based on today. So again, the question is very simple model. That's great. The user put the model in there. There's a date dimension, which is awesome. And then there are actuals and then the forecast. And the user is wrote a simple measure, actual slash forecast. If month of max table date is less than today, month of today. So today we are in April 2022. So he's saying if the date table date is less than maximum date table date is less than a month of today, which is a month of April, then show actuals other use forecast. So, and then he continues saying is when I plot this in metrics, the total at year level does not add up correctly. Please help. So a two part of this thing, I'm going to take it simple, like just taking a 1 year data in this particular example and just showcase why the total would not work at the total level or at the year level. And then also uh, and try to walk through why it is not working and what we need to do to make it work. So let's look at the Power BI file and look at the solution. First, we will explore what the problem is, and then we will look at the solution. So let's get to Power BI. So here in Power BI, I have the same model what the user just shown in the post. So calendar table linked with the actuals and linked with the forecast. So again, many one date has many forecast, and similarly, it's one-to-many relationship, many actuals. So then what I did is I created two measures, some actuals and some forecast. So some actuals just a sum of actuals, and some forecast is just a sum of forecast. And now the question is, if I'm looking before today's month, so it means before April 2022, I should be seeing these numbers, actuals 100, 200, and 300. And on or after today's, I should be, month of today, should be seeing 1200, 550, and 650. So that's what the user is looking. Then this 1500 of the actuals will not get accounted because this is in April and we don't want that. So what we want is January, February, March would be actuals, and April onward, because we are in the month of April, it will be forecast. So if we were in the month of May, then we will have 100, 200, 300, 1500 from actuals, and then May onward, we don't have any record in May, but onward June and July should be 550 and 650. So that's how you want to see the data, and then the total would be whatever that number look like. So I created the same year what user posted in the community, and I call it sum wrong because we know this is wrong. But let's first look at that what is happening in this particular measure. So we are in April right now. So what is happening? So we are getting so the measure is if max of calendar date is less than today, then actuals, otherwise forecast. So January 22 is before April, so 100 coming from actuals, and then this is also coming from actuals. February, March is also coming from actuals, and then in April there's a $1,500 actuals or whatever. Let's say this is a dollars, and $1,200 is a forecast. So here we are getting the forecast because this is in April. So yeah, this is if anything less than today is actually the forecast. So in this case, we are getting the forecast, and then moving forward, we are always for getting the forecast. But if we sum these numbers up, this is not 2400. So Let me just quickly sum this up. Let's make sure 650 plus 550 is 1200, 24, 27, 29, and 3000. So this total is supposed to be 3000, but this is coming up 2400. So the first question comes like, why this is 2400? Where we are getting this number from? So I did is I added another measure called max calendar date. So that is just getting the max of the calendar date. The reason why I added this measure, because if you look at the sum wrong measure which I created, we are saying max of calendar date. So I just see, okay, what the max of calendar date look like. So if we bring this measure, the max of calendar date in our table visual, so let's see what we see. So if you look at this, at every granularity we are getting the max date. Let's say we are looking at the month level 2022-01 January. So the max date in January is 31st of January 2022. And if I drill down, because there's a granularity of all the dates of the January, so the max date for each date is whatever the date we are looking. So the row context, we are seeing the max date. So let's keep it at the month level. At the year level, if we are in 2022, we see the max date of 31st of December 22, because that is the maximum date in that year. And now if we go to the total level, what we are seeing here is 31st December of 2022. So that is what the maximum date is at the total level, because my date dimension only contains 1 year. If I have a 22, 23, 24, like a future dated calendar in my calendar dimension, I would have seen the last date what is in my calendar dimension. But for the simplicity, for the understanding, we have only one calendar year dates in our calendar dimension. So we are getting the 31st December of 2022. So now this is the date we are looking at the total level. Now if we go to the sum wrong measure, so what we are saying is max of calendar date. So what does that translate into? 31st December 2022. So we are saying if 31st of December 22 is less than today, if it is less than today, today is when I'm doing this video is a April 25th 2022, is December 2022 is less than April of 25th 2022? The answer is no. So once it is false, it means we are saying the sum forecast. So this 2400 is the sum of the forecast, 1200 plus 550 plus 650, which is a sum of the forecast, and that's why we are seeing the 2400. If I change my forecast to something else, that same number we will see. And the reason behind that is, again, because at the total level, this is 31st December 2022. Is it less than today? No, it is not less than today. So it's going into the false condition, and that's when we are getting the sum forecast. Now the question is how we solve for this. So the sum wrong at the row level, this is correct value, but at the total level, this is not correct. So what is the solution for that? So I have another measure, and this is called sum actuals and forecast. So what we're doing is, so in this measure, what we're going is we are iterating over, we're using sum x. So we are iterating over the whole calendar date because that's the lowest granularity. And then we are checking again if month of calendar date, because the question is the month of the calendar date is less than month of today, then I'm using sum actuals. Otherwise, I'm using sum forecast. So now if I use this measure, let's use this measure quickly here and in our visualization, and here you go. So as I said, the total we expect, the total at the row level, this number is correct, but at the total level is not correct, and we know why that is the case. But now with this new measure, because what we are doing is we are iterating over each date of in the calendar table, and then we are checking the month of the calendar date at the each row level, because we're iterating over row, and then we say if it's less than the month of today, then use sum actuals and otherwise sum forecast, and then we are doing this on top of that, we are doing the sum, and that's why these numbers are getting calculated at the row level, and then the sum x is adding up the each row because it's iterating over the rows, and then we are getting the correct value. Now the question comes, is this measure correct, and is it working as expected? Um, I don't think this measure is correct, but we will look into the part 2 of this video why this measure is still not correct and what we need to do to make sure that it work as an expected. Do subscribe my channel, and in part 2 video we will look into that why this particular measure even at this point of time looks correct but it is actually not working as expected. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned few things out of it. Until next video, have a good day. Bye for now. Thank you.